Grab that right there. Are you ready? Is you ready?
Ready.
You say you ready. Whole squad ready.
Ready.
Is you ready? Are you ready?
Ready.
Is you ready? Whole squad ready. We came here to see Jet. What you got? No, no, no. Not on my watch.
No way.
Time to get to work now.
You're four, man. Let's do it.
We're back.
Songs to sing to? That's a good one. I couldn't even tell you. I haven't done karaoke in I don't know how long. You gotta skip that one.
My favorite karaoke song would probably be a Drake song because I know the lyrics to it. Either Nice for What or what is that song called?
Rock Me Mama Like a Wagon Wheel.
It's gonna sound crazy. Luke Combs, Beautiful Crazy.
I grew up being a big Hootie and the Blowfish guy, so I'm gonna just stick with Hootie and Blowfish and say, hold my hand.
He's like, Kiki, do you love? That's a great karaoke song.
Hope I don't have to do it. Stand By Me. Would you stand? Yeah.
Something everybody could get sing along to. Michael Jackson or something. PYT.
Oh, Ain't No Mountain High. And no, I'm not gonna sing.
You know when that hotline bling?
Never Too Much. Luther Vandross. Let's go with that one. Yeah, that's the one.
Probably be the SOS band. The Take Your Time song.
Even when I let the city you. That's a good karaoke song.
Probably just have to be Tequila. Dun, 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 dun. Tequila.
Probably Down with the Sickness by Disturbed. It's my go-to karaoke song.
Kiki, do you love me?
Definitely Fireworks. Katy Perry. It's a good one.
Anything Adele. She sent Skyfall from James Bond.
In My Feelings, that's what it is.
Party in the USA. I like that song a lot. We posted this?
Hey everybody, it's three guys with three things from practice number one. And speaking of numero uno, Mike, you're up.
Well, Larry, two position competitions we're going to be keeping an eye on throughout training camp, right tackle and safety. The way things started today with the first team unit, Zach Tom was the first one up at right tackle, the 4th round pick out of Wake Forest last year. At safety alongside Darnell Savage, it was Rudy Ford, who had 3 interceptions, I believe, last season. So that's where we're starting. We'll see where it finishes.
Duly noted, Wes.
Larry, the defense kind of won most of the team periods today. We saw some push-ups with the offense afterwards, and a big reason for that, Jair Alexander. Now, I know everybody knows that Jair was about his business even when he wasn't here during OTAs, but if there was ever a reminder of what this guy brings to the table, I mean, it was no-fly zone when they were throwing over in his direction today. A couple nice pass breakups. Obviously, that's one of the marquee guys now for this team. He's not just a leader at the cornerbacks, he's a leader on the defense. I thought he helped set the tone.
Speaking of which, the most interesting thing I saw in this morning's practice was during the last team period. It's all third down. And Jordan Love going deep to Romeo Doubs, working against Jair Alexander. And at the last moment on a deep throw, Jair goes up and bats it away, as you mentioned. As Romeo is walking back to the huddle, he just goes like this. And I mean, he's 30 yards from Jordan Love. He just goes like this. We were this far away. And I see Jordan setting up, just about to step into the next huddle, and he just nods his head. No verbal communication required. Those guys were on the same page. When you talk about chemistry, that's kind of how it happens. Little plays, little things like that. Gentlemen, anything for the good of the whole?
I just think being back out here, this is the strangest day ever. It started with like rain and thunderstorms, and next thing you know, it's blue skies and fans galore. It's no better place you'd rather be in July.
Overall, I'd say this. The same kind of stuff they do in OTAs and mini camps, but there's more snap to it because it's the real deal. And that is three guys with three things. See you next time.
You and Jordan Love have created this connection, this, in the off-season workouts and whatnot. What was it like working with him in California? Because when you get off the field, that's where a real connection can start to grow too.
Yeah, so, before OTAs ended, Jordan, with Danny and some of the receivers, we kind of had a plan of just, meeting up with them, just kind of continue to grow with them because, we all in this together. So it was a great session within those 3 days we had, or the week, I should say. I'm sorry, but it was all good.
Romeo, during the last team period, you guys were doing third down, and Jordan went too deep, and Jair knocked it away right at the last second. And when you were walking back, I saw you go like this to Jordan, like this far away. You guys have that kind of chemistry where it doesn't take talking, I saw Jordan nod, so can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, absolutely, man. I've been around Jordan for a while. Preseason I've gotten reps with him. Training camp of last year I've got reps with him. So it's just everything I just want for us, not just me, but for a lot of us. Just let everything be natural, man. But in between, just continue to get at it and just keep working. So.
What's it like working with Jordan Love?
Jordan's our cue for this year, man. So I have the utmost confidence in him. I'm sure he has the same, confidence in all of us as receivers. So it's really just up to us to just continue to do everything right and just execute everything, execute the littlest thing.
Is there anything that you want to work on this training camp?
Just being a complete receiver, man. Just being able to know what my role is, how to execute at it, preaching on the littlest things. I just feel like everything just comes in hand. So.
People experienced in my family as well, and it's just been a blessing to be here and be here as long as I have been. Coming in, they tell you don't buy a property or don't do this because you're going to be here for a year or two. You never know. So to be here going on year 7 is definitely a blessing. And like I said before, I don't necessarily see it as a pay cut because I never made $11 million in my life. So I'll take that if that's a pay cut.
Speaking of people upstairs, what's it like having the coaches just right there now in the new area?
This is state of the art. I get lost. Like I had to stop and ask coaches, hey, how do I get here? How do I get here? But it's amazing. I'm just glad they continue to put into us and make things easier for us and give us the best of the best.
You are now one of the real veterans on this team. It's a young team. Does it feel different as far as the vibe?
No, I wouldn't say feel, just hungry. Guys are hungry, ready to prove themselves. We know we're being doubted, but we're not going to let anybody write our story. We're going to write our own story.
How different does it feel to be doubted instead of hunted?
I've been doubted my whole life, so it's nothing new for me. So I just smile, and that chip on my shoulder just keeps growing bigger. And at the end of the season, we'll look up, and we'll have improved a lot of people wrong.
People were saying yesterday it feels like year 1 for him all over again, as if he's like at a new destination. Does it feel that different? That it feels like a new beginning?
A little bit, like in terms of like being for myself as well, just being a vet, speaking up more in meetings, different things like that. and because we have some younger guys, so is back kind of nail the details, nail the fundamentals. You know, when you're in a system for a while, you not necessarily nailing the details, but then you really hone in on every little thing. Like you can break down the craft when you've been in the offense for so long. You know the basics of everything, so now you can really hone in on it. But so now it's kind of starting from the beginning, just teaching them all the fine details and why we're doing it and what we're looking for on certain plays and why we're in this alignment and like I said, what we're trying to get accomplished.
So guys have leaned on you a little bit in that regard?
Yes, sir, definitely. And I mean, we always all lean on each other. AJ's been here, Patrick Taylor's been here, Tyler Davis has been here, Josiah DeGuara has been here. So and then up front, you know, Elton Jenkins, David Bakhtiari, those guys have been here. This Josh Myers, all those guys have been here. So we all lean on each other. It's not all just on me. It's all of us, and we do it as a team. And we're excited about it, though.
Just like you said, it's not all on you. It's not all on Jordan either, even though that might be some of the public perception.
No, it's definitely not all on Jordan. It's our job to make his job easier. Take that stress off of him. Make sure all the other 10 players know where they're lined up, know what we're doing, so he's not in the middle of a play trying to get somebody lined up, or he can just focus on his reads and play the game as fast as he can. So it's our job to make his job easier.
Speaking of Josiah, it seems like over the past year or two, especially this offseason, we've seen him line up more and more as that fullback. What does that do for you to have him there, maybe more of like a traditional fullback on the field?
I love having Josiah in front of me. He opens up things. He'll run through a wall for me, but not just only me, any of the backs he's lined up in front of, run through a wall for them. And we know when he's in front of us, he's clearing out the way, or he's coming back and kicking out a defensive end or something like that. We know that gap is going to be there, and he's going to get his job done. So, like I said, I love running behind Josiah, and I feel like he's truly like developed into a leader as well.
Do you just keep your eyes on 81 and follow him?
And follow 81.
You kind of talk about the young playmakers and, you know, people on the outside doubting you guys. What do you think this offense is capable of this year?
I think we could be very explosive. We got a lot of speed, got a lot of weapons. Some people may have never heard of, and some people may have heard of. But like I said, we have a lot of weapons. People get the ball in space, different things. People are just ready to explode. You know, they got dudes just not. I wouldn't say just as fast as Christian Watson, because that's a stretch. That guy's fast, but you got guys similar speeds and who can make plays in the open field, make somebody miss, and that's what the game comes down to at this level. Getting in the open field, making somebody miss. That's what separates the good from the great from the average. What you do and when a play breaks down, or when you're in the open field one-on-one. So.
Who's the second closest, fastest?
Ooh, I would say Bo Melton, probably. Or Jay Reed. Oh, that's a tough one. On the offensive side, it's out of them two. Bo Melton or Jay Reed.
Okay.
Out of them two.
Have y'all had races?
We haven't. We always talk about it. We're like, if we run a 4x1, we're like, okay, we get it. The receivers will win now, because that used to always be a thing for the past 4 years. Like, if we run a 4x1, who's going to win? The DBs would always say they're going to win. But I think the receivers got it now.
What does it say about Jordan Love to set up these, off the facility training out in California? What does that say about him as a leader of this football team?
It says a lot. He cares about the guys in this locker room. He wants to be successful, and he wants us to be successful. And so he wants us clicking when we come back here, make it easier on the coaches and ourselves. We've gone through that playbook. We've gotten that conditioning in, and then we got to spend that time together, just bonding off the field as well, going bowling, going out to eat, different things like that. And Jordan's a pretty good bowler. I don't know if he's told y'all. That boy had like 5 strikes in a row. Like, I want to say he bowled like a 220 or something like that.
5 strikes in a row, is that like a double turkey?
Somewhere close to that.
How's Aaron Jones as a bowler?
So I thought I was doing. I'm decent. I'm 150s, and I thought I was doing pretty good. I want to say I ended up with like 160, and Jordan got hot towards the end. So I thought I was gonna win it, and Wicks too. Wicks was pretty good at bowling, and I thought it was out of me and him on our lane. Jordan was right next to us with some of the guys as well, and I'm like, all right, we're watching their score, we're watching my score, and then Jordan just starts snapping, catches fire, and we're like, all right, he got it. We're playing for second place now.
You're a better corner player than bowler?
I would say I'm average at both.
Was this year or California?
This was in California.
So who all was together?
It was me, Jay Reed, Wicks, Jeff Cotton, Danny Etling. Ooh, who else?
Jordan.
Christian Watson, Romeo, Dobbs, and Jordan, of course. So it was about eight of us.
What was that experience like actually having, because you were out there with them before, but actually having 7-8 guys all together for that?
It made it fun. Like I don't know if that's a word, but it made it fun. You know, just getting that time together that you don't normally get to spend. You know, you're in the facility all day, and then from there you would just want to go home and go to sleep or spend time with your family. So, just really being able to bond, getting to know each other on a different level, and then just enjoying each other, laughing, going out to eat, finding out some of each other's interests, and I feel like that's how you grow as a team and grow as a family.
All right, first impression, day one, how you feeling?
I'm like in the middle, like put some good things out there, put a lot of bad things out there. Anxious to be out there, so kind of expect the first day kind of be a day just running around, having fun, and messing up, but also doing some good things. So I think more so for me, I'm speaking. That's what I did today.
Is that a message you relay to the rookies if they're like beating themselves up over a player or anything? Like, hey, it's day one.
Yeah, it's day one. You got time. As long as you're going fast, it's all good. So.
How are you feeling with, obviously you're not playing with him, but playing against him, Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan. Good. He's a good quarterback. He made some good throws today. Underthrew a couple things today, but it's just his touch of how he sees things. He's still getting that feel of where the receiver's going to be at. But man, he's going to be good. And our offense, they'll make plays, and we already know 2-8 and 3-3 are going to run that ball. So we'll be fine.
Speaking about it.
It's different. I want to say it's different, and I'm just going off the first day. I can't really go off too many days because we only did one day today, but it's different. I think this year he got an aggressive mindset. This year he's not holding back this year. Is it his contract year this year? It may be. So.
See you doing push-ups after practice.
Oh yeah, the offense doing push-ups. They lost today, so we had a couple periods where whoever won more of the downs, the opposing had to do push-ups. So we won today in all drills, so they had to do push-ups.
Obviously you play defense, but you have a keen eye on what offenses are doing against you. When it comes to us, when we watch Jordan Love every day throughout camp, what sorts of things do you think we should look for to see if he's progressing on the trajectory that you all hope he is? What are you looking at? What impresses you as a defensive player going against him?
Just reading his progression. If he's going through his reads, and just the windows, the tight windows of him putting the ball on receivers in tight windows, those things.
So that matters perhaps more than a couple balls caught up in the wind, would you say? What do you make of that? Because a couple did today.
Yeah, that happens though, you know? Sometimes we're going to get breaks on the ball. Sometimes somebody might get tipped, the ball might get tipped, or he might just be moving away from a defender or rusher because we're told not to be around the quarterback, so he may have to move, and that may mess him up just one step. So it's just really just the tight throws and just his progression.
It's a process of acclimating kind of one new starter back there behind you this season.
Yeah, for sure.
What's that like?
Well, as in for offense?
Yeah, no, getting you guys acclimated to the new safety for Smash and taking off as it.
Who's the new safety though?
Looks like it's open competition.
Oh. I think every position is open. I don't think no position is closed. Maybe Jair position is not open. But, you know what I mean? We got to be real with ourselves, but I think every position is open.
Last year, there were a couple times after the game where you were just confused about what went wrong with the defense, what are you doing? How are you taking that feeling and saying we're not doing that again into this season?
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. We had a meeting with Joe B, and he came in there and he said, we all don't know it, and we want you guys to communicate what you guys want to kind of do. And we basically just told them we want to be aggressive, we want to be up close in guys' face, and we want to challenge guys to make those tight. And so far, that's what he's doing.
Who kind of led that meeting?
Huh?
Who led that meeting?
He did. After the season, he met with all of us individually, and then we met together. So.
Did you go back and watch tape from last season, like during the summer?
Yeah, I had my iPad the whole time.
What were you looking for?
Well, what I watch tape on, I watch my POA tape. So it's like a point of attack that if you wanted the coach to make you one tape, just balls getting thrown at you or in your area, depending on if you were in zone or man. So I kind of just watched that on myself and just saying like what I was giving up and what I need to work on to be better.
We've seen from you, you have the confidence, you have the talent to do anything. I think it was the first day of camp last year when we talked to you, you said you wanted to be Defensive Player of the Year. When you look back at how confident you guys were outwardly at the start of camp last year and how things ended up, does that change how you approach things? Does it humble you? Does it reset your goals? Does it ground you in any way?
No. You always still at the same goal. I think we're all still trying to reach that same goal, but I mean, you need help from everywhere to obtain goals. You know, it's not just a one-person goal. Everything kind of needs to be into that one goal. So I think we didn't live up to everything we wanted as a defense. Yeah. So.
Going back to the tight windows and Jordan trying to fit into those, do you and Jair and maybe Keyshawn like purposely try to make them tighter than you would maybe even be able to get away with in a game, just to help him learn?
Nah. We're just gonna play the coverage based off whatever leverage coach tells us at the beginning. So if people like, yo, just play outside, and they got an inside route, and just squeeze it as much as you can, and just allow them to do it. We don't want to do too much bang where it's like, if we can work and we make and get it out, we'll probably let them catch it for right now until pads come on, and then we'll probably go in there and try to give a little extra hit on the ball. But right now we'll just let him catch it, but just be close enough to where if he mess up his throw, we can get a chance to get a pick or a bad ball.
So I'm not sure if you were asked that, if you were, I apologize. What went right for you guys down the stretch defensively? Is that something you can build on at all, or is it a new season, you start from scratch?
Yeah, you got to start from scratch. Okay. You got to start from scratch. Just a different team, a different mindset. So honestly, we're not even really thinking about last year. We kind of already blew that season away. We won't come back. Chiefs already got the Super Bowl ring. So now we're just focusing on this year.
Full-time outside now. Do you prefer that?
Yeah, I prefer being outside. Yeah.
Why do you like that spot better than inside?
In this defense?
Yeah.
Because most of the inside stuff be like runoffs. So it'd be like a guy inside, he's just going over there just for you to go over there, and they're throwing the ball right behind. So whereas 2 years ago, I was the guy that was behind. So when it was throwing it, I was jumping it, and then I would make a play. But last year, just he'd run across, and I just had to run across. And I couldn't like come back and get routes that were behind it. So
you know, you had, 4 receptions last year? There's an opportunity for more
yeah, for sure.
Style?
Yeah.
Running out as QB1 for this training camp. What other ones?
Yeah, it does. Feels good to be out there. So.
What was last night like for you? Kind of what was coming in your first camp practice as QB1?
Yeah, it was just getting to that hotel and just going over the install that we have, the script. It was similar to other training camp practices that I have. You just want to be dialed into everything, all the details. But yeah, got a good night's sleep last night, so it was good.
Kind run out to a lot of Packer practices in your years here, but the eyes are all on you. You know that's the deal. How different does that feel, and what kind of responsibility do you feel with that aspect of it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of responsibility that comes with the position. But yeah, like you say, the eyes being on you, that's something that I'm working on right now, just trying to block out. I'm just trying to have my focus be on what I'm working on that day, what I'm focusing on that day, so I can have all my focus on that, just kind of block out any distractions.
And is that where the 3 years of being here does help in that aspect of it as well?
Oh yeah, 100%. First year, you're running out there, your eyes kind of big, see everybody out there for the first time in practice, so it's always fun. But yeah, just being here, being through it a couple times, I know my routine, I know what I got to kind of lock in and focus on.
Jordan, the word from the team has been patience. It's a new quarterback. Mark Murphy in front of 8,000 shareholders or that. Booty said, hey, we might be the hunter, right? How do you react when you hear those words?
I mean, it's just how it is, Patience is not going to be, like I say, it's not going to be perfect right away. This is a process. It's growing pains that you got to work through. Just like today, it's day one. It's not going to be perfect. Something that we got to build every day. So I think that's what it comes down to, is just building that every day, and it's a process.
Day one, and you had a hell of a breeze, the wind to throw into today. What was it like for you?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, I think we've seen some pretty stronger winds out here. But yeah, I mean, I was glad it wasn't raining. I know it was raining earlier today, so I'm glad the rain stopped. But it was actually a nice day. Besides, there was a little bit of wind out there.
How much did that affect your deep ball and gauging the depth that you need to get on that? It looked like you had a couple of guys that were open, but flags are going horizontal and short.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think just day one, that was one thing I was like, man, we gotta lock in on that one. But deep ball day one, that's something that you got to have those reps at, and it takes time. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect on the deep ball, but after today, looking back on it, that's one thing that I felt like those are the couple of throws that I missed. They're just maybe a little bit short that weren't right over the shoulder like you might want. But obviously, the wind accounts for that. You can never make excuses for that. You just got to be able to play through it.
Jordan, what do you need out of this camp, and what do you need from now to the opener?
Just reps. You just got to get those reps, build that chemistry. Obviously, I've got a good amount of reps through OTAs, but it's different going into training camp. Just getting those reps with the guys and building that chemistry with everybody.
So with that in mind, do you want to play a lot in the preseason games?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how the preseason games work out. I'm not sure how much I'll play, how little I'll play, which games I'll play in. So I haven't yet talked to Matt about that, but obviously that's something we'll figure out. But preseason, those are good reps, though, for sure.
When do you expect that conversation to happen about future playing time in this preseason?
Probably closer to the preseason game week. Going into that week, probably talk about that a little bit. But right now, I mean, we're just day in and day out training camp. You're focused on that day, that practice, that walkthrough, all that. So.
Do you go into the preseason time feeling like this is how much I need? Do you have an idea of how much you'll need, or is it based on more what you do and how it goes?
Yeah, I think it's based on everyday practice, how the practices go, how kind of the plays play out with each other, and then how good of that chemistry you got with everybody. And then obviously you want to go into the game, getting those game reps, seeing a different opponent, playing against some different defense, some different looks. So you want to get all those reps. So it's definitely very valuable. I'm just obviously not sure how much yet.
Sure. What did you get out of those workouts with Christian and Romeo and everybody else there recently? And was it just throwing the ball, or did you guys talk shop after over dinner, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, no, we had a good time out there. I was glad that those guys were able to make it out. But yeah, it's just off season we got a couple workouts in. It was good to just get back in the ball with the guys. Usually in off season you're throwing with other people that don't run the same routes that you run in your offense, things like that. So just being able to have that familiarity and build those connections with those guys was awesome. But yeah, no, we had some. We went bowling, man. We had a couple of nice dinners out there, so it was a good time to build that connection.
You said during minicamp, hey, the real work is when we're here, right? But it goes viral. I mean, it excites fans. You guys get that. I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, obviously there's not much going on in the off season, and training camp's not going on, things like that. So, any snippet of work they see us putting in is obviously fans love to see that stuff, and love to see us working together in the off season. So.
Who's the best bowler?
I did beat everybody in bowling. I'm not just saying. Christian did say that the lanes weren't good enough for him. I guess he spins the ball, so the lanes didn't have enough grip, supposedly, but I did win. So.
What'd you bowl?
I almost had a 200
Did you?
one game. Yeah, I think I had 198. So. Yeah.
Who was the worst?
That's a good question. I'm not sure who the worst was. There was I know Christian wasn't bowling to his best because he had to start bowling straight, and he's not used to that. So he was a little frustrated out there.
Oh, that's leadership right there. Not throwing your bowlers under the bus.
No. Everybody's good.
When you talk about reps in practice, obviously you're a young guy with a young arm who wants to get as many reps as you can so you're ready, right? But Matt was saying yesterday, they do still have to be smart with you. How do you kind of figure out where that line is and not push yourself wanting to get better so desperately that you're overworking yourself?
No, yeah, I think the coaches do a great job though of counting reps, things like that, seeing how many reps you get, how many throws you're getting, and then communication is key. If I'm ever feeling my arms are a little dead one day, just talk to them and they'll ramp it down. But that's one thing, you just go play it by ear, play it by how you feel every day, and you can take more reps, take less reps depending on how you feel, but you just gauge that every day.
Having two separate sessions of joint practice and playing against two different teams, how helpful do you think that can be as you get better?
I think it'll be really good, really helpful. Like I said, the more looks you can get of different defense and different looks and things like that is just going to be helpful. Going against different guys, all that stuff's going to be key for us. You know, you can go against your same defense every day, and you get to a game and you're seeing new faces, seeing new looks that you haven't got reps against. So the more reps we can get, different looks, it's going to be very helpful.
How do you balance your own personal evaluation, like play to play, practice to practice, or general training camp as a whole?
Well, can you ask that again?
You know, do you evaluate yourself practice to practice, day to day, or do you look at, hey, I'm progressing, I'm looking at this training camp as a whole until we get to the regular season? How do you prefer to kind of gauge yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I take it day by day. Like we have a day like this, we go in there and watch the film, evaluate it, see where I stand with the plays I had, and then tomorrow I'll evaluate that day. But it's all progression. You want to see, the thing you want to see is not making the same mistakes twice, building on things. If you made a mistake one day, just grow from that, learn. And like I said, not keep making the same mistakes twice. But it's definitely a progression over the course of training camp and then over the course of the season.
We know Matt said yesterday it would be kind of a process to learn what you like best in terms of the playbook and all that kind of stuff. So when and where do those conversations happen? Like, what's your opportunity to have those talks with him about what you like and maybe what you don't?
Yeah, I mean, that happens daily. Every day is a new install for us. We're going to run every play in our playbook, and then you get a feel at practice what plays you like, what plays you don't like after repping it. So that kind of just happens daily. Those conversations, after practice, we'll go back, see what plays we like, see what plays we don't like. I rank plays, all the time about what plays I like, what plays I don't like, so Matt can get a better feel of what plays he needs to be calling.
Jordan, has Matt told you, hey, just run the play we call, or are there opportunities for you to adjust? What does he want you to do in those situations? Obviously, Aaron had a pretty long leash.
No, I mean, that's all determined by the play you call. Certain plays have different looks that you might want to check out if you get to another play, signal something else out. But most plays in our offense, they're pretty straightforward. You run the play, if it has a can on it, for a certain look, you'll can it. But if you're getting looks like all out blitz, things like that, you got to check out of, get to different routes. The playbook's open for that, but for the most part, it's staying within the scheme that we're calling, especially during training camp. You want to rep those plays, get good reps at it versus, even if it's a bad look, you still want to kind of get that rep, just get that feel for it.
We all know about the training session in California. Did you get away from the game for the rest of the past few weeks, or was it pretty much all football? How did you handle it?
No, yeah, I mean, I took some time off right after OTAs ended, just give my arm a little bit of a break. But then, yeah, you get back into it pretty quick, just working out, training, trying to continue to get your body right. But yeah, I gauge how I throw in the off season. I don't really throw more than 3 days just to take care of your arm. But yeah, and then coming back out the week before, took a little time off of that. So.
How much time did you take off? Did you do anything fun or exciting?
Yeah, at the beginning of OTAs, I took a trip to Paris. That was a good time. My agent had a pros week, he calls it, out in Austin, where he brings all his guys out. We did some fun stuff out there. And then, yeah, I came back out here, got to training in California. All my family's out there, so I got to take a couple trips, go see my family, spend some time with them. But yeah, and then I came back out here and just kind of been hanging out, getting back acclimated to Green Bay before we start. So.
Certainly it's a new role for you, of course, here as the starting quarterback, but you're entering your 4th season. You've been in this locker room longer than a lot of guys. There's only a small handful that have been here longer than you. How do you balance feeling like a veteran and as opposed to this new role that you're entering?
Yeah, I mean that's just how it goes. I mean that's part of the game. I've been a backup, but I've been here, like you said, for 3 years. So I've been around these guys. I got a good feel for these guys. Got good relationships with all these guys. So it's not like it's anything new. It's not like I'm a rookie coming in trying to learn things. I've been here, so it's just entering in that new role. Obviously get more reps of practice, more eyes on you, things like that. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing for me as what I've been doing. Yeah.
Speaking of that, Willie, I'd asked you about finding that line of trying to take care of you, just not trying to push you too far, but the fact that that room, there's no other starts in that room behind you. Does that make it more important that there isn't that experienced person right now behind you, that if something does happen, they can step up?
Does what make it more?
Like making sure that you're taken care of in the proper way, like, reps, finding that fine line. It's a tough line to find sometimes, but is it more important for you because of the situation in the quarterback room?
I don't know if it's more important. I think you always, starting quarterback, you always want to take care of his arm. Even when Aaron is here, that's the same way they treated him, watching every rep he gets, and if he's not feeling great one day, you'll take some time off. But at the same time, all the quarterbacks in the room need reps too. And it's tough, 4 quarterbacks trying to juggle all the reps, and for certain, we only have so many team reps you can get. But I think it's, as a backup, when I was a backup, it was always important to get those those reps, those 3-4 reps you get, and make the most of it, because obviously, you have limited reps. Once you get into season, the reps go down even more. So, the reps you get in training camp and preseason games, those are very valuable. So I don't think it weighs any more or any less on that.
What's the most interesting thing you heard from the fans today, good, bad, or otherwise? Did you hear anything?
No, I didn't really hear anything. Like I said, I was kind of locked in, blocked it out. I saw Jay Reed was running down the sideline at the beginning, pumping the fans up, so that's always fun. But it was good. I mean, it was a great turnout. I know Sean made a comment to me earlier. He was like, "Man, it's a lot of fans out here." I was like, "Yes, welcome to Green Bay." They come out for all the practices just like that. So I think it was just awesome to see everybody out there.
What was your favorite part of today?
Favorite part, man? I think just running out, like you said. The bike ride, getting back on the bikes was pretty fun. But when you run out of that tunnel after the warm-ups and you just feel the energy of all the fans cheering you on, it's always fun.
I wasn't asking about the bikes. Are you gonna have like a bike kid, or are you gonna have a kid of the day? How you gonna make kids days? I guess.
I like to mix it up. You know what I'm saying? I like to just go out there and kind of get a feel for who's there, who's cheering the loudest, things like that. If anybody has a jersey, maybe things like that. But who has a bigger bike sometimes. But no, I like to mix it up.
How do you feel like fans have reacted to you? I mean, do you feel like they're supporting you? When Aaron took over and Brett, that whole thing wanted to come back, you probably didn't know much about that, but people kind of turned on Aaron and wanted Brett back. How do you feel like they've reacted to you?
No, I think it's all been positive. I think it's all been really good. Obviously, you go from one obviously Hall of Fame quarterback that's been here for quite some time, and the fans love him. And then obviously, moving on, it's going to be tough for some people. But I think it's all been positive stuff going forward. Everything that I've seen and heard, everyone I've talked to, it's all been really positive. So I've appreciaed that.
Jordan, you were in Paris. You had that Father's Day video that got blown out of proportion. Is that kind of just a lesson about being under the microscope now that you're?
Yeah, definitely just a lesson for me being under the microscope. Didn't think nothing of it, but it is what it is. Things happen, so lesson learned.
Hey, Jordan, with all due respect to Big Dog from that Dolphins game last year, tight ends haven't really been known for going deep. Eric, Luke did today, obviously. What do you think that can add, having a guy like that at that position?
Yeah, no, it's going to be huge for us. Obviously, we've been building that in. We want to take a shot to Luke. He can run very fast, so we've been trying to build that in. But I think it's going to add, more capability for the tight ends, more versatility for them to run different routes, different concepts, and just make it harder for the defenses to be able to cover everybody. Decide who they want to put on guys like Luke and things like that with some speed. But yeah.
You said you and Aaron talked shortly after the trade went through. Did he tell you anything about what to expect from this transition, being a guy himself that went through it 15 years ago? Did he have any, over the years, have you talked about what it would be like for you going through this transition?
Yeah, I mean, those are things we've talked about. When the time we were both here together, he kind of talked about how it was for him, obviously Brett leaving and things like that, his transition. Obviously, he said it was hard as well. It's never easy, but he kind of just put his head down and worked. Made his own name for himself. That's kind of the same thing I'm trying to do right now for myself.
What advice did he have for you in terms of how to handle that and so kind of be true to you?
Yeah, no, Aaron reached out to me last night, and that's exactly what he said. Yeah, he said, just be yourself, have fun, enjoy it. It's obviously my time now, and he just said, be yourself. And I mean, that's all you can do. That's kind of been the message from everybody is, be yourself. Don't try and be anybody else. Don't try to be Aaron, things like that. Just be yourself, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
How much does that intangible support actually help you? Your guys in here, as you said, have been very supportive, and Aaron reaching out to you. I mean, you're a professional athlete. Does it still make a difference?
No, it makes a huge difference. You as a player, you want everybody to respect you. You want the support of the team. That's pretty much what it's been. Everybody's been great, very supportive. Like I said, it comes down to those relationships we have with each other. But no, it's been great, man. It's something that, even if I didn't have the support of the team, I'm still going to go out there and do my best every day because, being the leader of the team, that's what you got to do. It's never going to be easy, never going to be in your favor sometimes, but you just got to go out there every day, put your head down, and no matter what the, good, bad, indifferent, you just got to go out there and work every day.
Did Aaron text you or did he give you a call or how did he reach out to you?
Yeah, we texted last night. He texted me, so it was pretty nice to see him.
Are you expecting any new face in that room before the season starts? I know you've been asked this, but is that a conversation you've had with the organization at all about getting somebody, a more veteran back?
In the quarterback room?
Yeah.
No, I haven't had any conversations with anybody, and I'll let them handle that. Obviously, we have 4 quarterbacks there right now. I think that's kind of the max they want to keep. So we'll see. I'm not sure how that will play out.
Jordan, you talked about the deep balls that maybe you didn't like. What were your favorite throws today? What were the throws that you really felt good about? Kind of take out of here and you'll see on film and like.
Yeah, no, we had a couple strikes. I had one to Rome that made a great catch, but we had a through route, which is always nice, right over the middle to Samari. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple of throws here and there that you always wish you can get back at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, there's not like one specific throw I like more than the other. I like completions, and whenever you can get that, it's always fun. But yeah, just looking back on it, like I said, those deep balls are just one thing that I wish we could have had a little bit better connection, but something that we're going to build and grow over time.
Bring what you got.